Like, if I'm, like, thinking of WotC R&D, like, building a reprint, since they open TCG Player and they're like, well, Goryo's Vengeance is $50 and Through the Breach is, like, $70. What should we put in this Mythic slot? How about Tree of Redemption? Tree of Redemption sounds great. Fuck those other cards that actually need a reprint. All right, sorry. We'll not pick on R&D anymore tonight. That's probably a lie. We're probably gonna pick on R&D some more tonight. But this hand, we're gonna deal a little bit of damage to ourselves, but I think we can keep this. We're on the play. We'll go Fetch Shock, Serum Visions, and then we have Bolt Up on turn 2. No, keep taking the... Is this why I don't get preview cards, do you think? You think this is why Wizards of the Coast doesn't send me preview cards? Because I mean, the tree is mythic. It's legend. Wait for it. Dairy. All right. I'm not going to keep another Bolt in the Dark. I think I'd rather just push for Pyromancers and Swiftspears at this point. This deck's probably a little bit more aggressive than anything. We played a Bant Company deck with 4 Jace. We played a Bant deck with 4 Jaces without Company. I've not played the Bant deck with Company and Jace in it. That's not something I've played just yet. I am a millennial. I've watched a lot of How I Met Your Mother. Most of it, all of it, probably all of it. Probably all of it more than once. Yeah, the spoilers for Dominaria seem great. The 4-mana Karn seems pretty awesome. I probably should have played Scalding Tarn here, just in case I wanted to fetch a basic swamp down the line. The non-zero chance I'd want to do that. Taylor Swiftspear, but still my heart. We've ruined something, probably, almost certainly. I don't know what, but whatever it is, we destroyed it. What's going on, Inksky? Yeah, the Hollowed 1 deck really lets the segment of Magic players that are degenerate gamblers really channel that degeneracy out of themselves. This is a big fish, but that's fine. We have a Terminate. Only eats avocado bread instead of pay bills. God bless my Twitch subs. Y'all fund so much avocado bread you would not believe it. This is match 1, game 1 with our Grixis deck here. Great, so to be fair, Richard Garfield had a hand in designing Dominaria, right? And like the last time he had a hand in designing a Magic set, we got Snapcaster Mages and Lilianas of the Veil. So like my expectations are very high for Dominaria as a whole. How position do you think Death and Taxes is in Modern right now? If we 5-0 with the Surgical Beam, do I get another free league with it? Is the deck actually capable of winning a game, Justin? We regularly refer to the Leonin Arbiter decks on the stream as ship bears, and it's not a loving referral. It's this deck is very anemic and unimpressive, and I don't understand why people play it. I am super pumped for Artifact. When Artifact hits a public release, we are going to be playing and streaming it here on this channel. It's an actual trading card game. It's so wild. What just... lands. Sometimes you flood out a little bit. We could kill them with tar pits. I mean, they won't have any good Magic cards left in their deck, so... Hey, Anoronics, good evening. Welcome. Hope you had a good weekend. I know you've been busy lately. We just can't beat these blood. I guess there's a world where we hit Bedlam Reveler here, right? And we like snowball that into an advantage. All right, we'll take a touch of information with us on the way out the door. Nope, the bot is alive and well. The bot is alive and well. Okay, so this is a Ravenous Trap matchup. I think I bring in Byforce just to, like, shatter Hallowed Ones. It's also really good if they have multiple Hallowed One draw, right? Discard spells are probably out here. Surgical Extraction is fine. Rise, Fall. That's actually okay. Does this do Claim to Fame? That one's not particularly good here, I don't think. I think the rest of these cards look fine. Maybe you could make an argument for playing Collective Brutality, but I don't think I like it better than these other cards we already have in my deck. Thinking of building Just Kai Ascendancy for the next team event. Any build that I prefer. Check my YouTube channel. Whatever the latest build is there. Last build we played. Go, or more specifically, go if you want the TLDR without watching all of the videos, you should pull up the videos and go to like the last 5 minutes where I always do the summary of the different variations that we've played. Anoronics, we added a new sweet clip. Type !miracle in chat. It's quite fantastic. It's quite fantastic. Just ! and then card name. You actually don't need to put card in front of it. The default command is a card. Do you prefer messages through Twitch or Facebook for Reckless? I do not respond to messages on Facebook from people that I do not know in person. So if you are someone who's messaged me on Facebook, my Facebook I keep just for personal stuff, mostly for using Messenger with my wife while she's at work. So if you want to reach out to me regarding Magic stuff, you should whisper me on Twitch or DM me on Twitter. Or if you're one of my subscribers, you can message me on Discord as well. I think this hand's fine. It's like not super exciting, but I think it's okay. We'll go Blood Crypt into Island Pyromancer into like Visions Jace potentially here. Once upon a time, I had 4,000 friends on Facebook and responded to messages on there, and then the last election cycle happened, and I removed everyone I didn't know in person from Facebook. Because interacting with strangers and politics is fucking miserable and not worth the headache. Don't argue with people about politics on the internet. Just block, unsubscribe, unfriend, and move on with your life. You'll be far happier. You'll be far, far happier. If I get super political, I'll be unfriended. Look, sometimes Storm beats itself. Sometimes Storm beats itself. And they don't have a way to kill this Pyromancer. She might be able to run away with the game. It's like a Collective Brutality here. That sucks. We 3-2'd with blue-white control because this is modern and every deck's a 3-2 deck. Huh. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna fetch shock here. Get the steam vents going. Anti-vax. That's another one of those. Just like, good lord. The science. That's it. This is the best URL. This is the best URL. Sorry for Hey Nikki, happy birthday. Keep that feel free to keep that URL in your back pocket, chat. It's a good one. Alright, so we've got 1, 2 in here. Oh, that's unfortunate. So, I guess, hey, Scryman 2015 with that brand new tier 1 subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. So I get to plus this here. I get to play this Pyromancer. I can bolt one of these and then block it with the token I get to kill it. That's unfortunate. I think I'm gonna bolt this in response. It kind of like it's like this is like using this lightning bolt as a fog, basically. So I'm getting a token here, and then they probably won't attack with this because it means trading it with the token. I've lurked long enough. Well, thank you for lurking. Thank you everyone just for watching. I know there's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching day to day on Twitch. So I appreciate everyone that chooses to spend part of their time here with us. Let's do this. Let's do this. And then we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 spells in our graveyard right now. So if we hit an untapped land, we can windmill the Bedlam Reveler next turn. I think I'm going to cash this in as a gain 4 here. I'm gonna cash this in as a gain 4. Okay, it's a terminate. I suppose digging to a land is the same. I guess I just want to. No, I can't bolt their things, then I can't terminate. Yeah, I'm gonna cast the Serum Visions here. God, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. So I'm definitely bottoming a Remand. Is this Kolaghan's command worth keeping? The problem is maybe they're gonna send the hollowed one at Jace, since it can flash stuff back next turn. I'm gonna top this and hope they attack my Jace here, and I could like terminate this, shatter shock this next turn, and like try and take all the pressure off the table. What's going on, Larynx? Yeah, good things to watch at the gym are always ideal. I don't have anything I'm really enjoying on Netflix right now, so I've been watching more and more Twitch streams, and like whenever I hop on the treadmill and like there's no one that I like on Twitch, it's just like, oh man. Oh man. All right, so we're on, oh, and speaking of aw man, we are going to take 6 here, which puts us down to 4. Some more bits to fill the cup. Thank you for the cupcake bits, Full Metal Adept. I do appreciate that. All right, let's pop one off on there and then pass the turn here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 instant sorcery in our graveyard. So once we play this, we'll be able to put Bedlam Reveler into play next turn. See, we're playing the good Jace. Yep. So, because I have the Jace here just checking this, yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm actually just going to destroy target artifact. Target player God, I hate this fucking interface. I want to shatter and make them discard a card. Target player discards. Why are there so many lines? Can I please have checkboxes? Just stream while you're at the treadmill. So the Pauper stuff didn't have fantastic numbers, but I guess I wasn't expecting it to be super popular. We're not going to have it every week, but I'm thinking maybe we'll try and do a Pauper day once or twice a month moving forward. Once or twice a month. We'll see. We're definitely doing, like, I enjoyed playing Pauper as a format. It generates quality games of Magic. But unfortunately, it's just nowhere near as popular as Modern, and it's not even as popular as my Legacy content. Delve Threat here is scary. That's what this is, it feels like. Yep. Alright, Bedlam gets to chump block and draw 3 cards, though, so we've got that going for us. Land. Ding. Land is good here, because I'm going to have to discard the rest of the cards in my hand anyways. Let's start by casting this. Yeah, a couple of them were okay. Some of them were pretty exceptionally bad, though. Like, the Blue-White Tribe video got, like, as many views as some of my Hex videos, which is bad. The Magic stuff usually does much better than Hex. So, this Bedlam Reveler, maybe I was just supposed to, like, terminate the Thought that turn. It's a tough line. Next turn, I can stick the Thing in the Ice plus flashback a Dreadbore on here, which feels good. They're down to just 1 card in their hand, so if we can avoid getting burned out here, we might actually be in a pretty good spot. So I'm gonna start by playing the Thing, because I want to flip the Thing, right? So we're gonna target this Dreadbore, and I'm actually gonna fetch, right? I feel like we're dead to Bolt regardless, so I'm really not gonna play around it here. If they draw a Bolt, they draw a Bolt. No, I don't think I'm gonna be playing Standard anytime soon. I don't have enough time to play all the Modern that I have. And like, just like by the numbers, Standard is still just like not nearly as popular as the other formats. I'd much rather play Pauper than play Standard, because like, and again, it's just like, it's such a big investment to like learn a new, I should have kept the Thought Scour there. That was bad. I need cantrips just to flip this. It's such a huge time investment to like learn Standard. Just like snapping this block, right? Because Collective Brutality kills me if I don't block, so if it kills this, that's whatever. Yeah, they would have hit me for 2 damage, Slythe. They would have attacked me with, they'd have attacked me with both, and I'd have blocked 1 and then taken 2 from the other. And it actually looks like they have Collective Brutality here, so if I would have taken the 2, I'd have been dead to this. Next turn, I can Kolaghan's Command, pick a threat back up, which is nice. Yep, so I'm at 1. So I can Kolaghan's Command, and this Kolaghan's Command is going to... This is actually kind of hard. So what creature do I want to get back? I really want to get back Bedlam Reveler, but I can't cast it this turn. So I think I'm supposed to get back Young Pyromancer, because that way I'm not dead to a land. Because if they hit a land, they get to bring... Is there another Bloodghast in here? There's not. So I think I'm supposed to get back the Pyromancer so I can block this, potentially. That's the highest upside play out of the things I have access to right now. So I think I'm getting back this and killing this. That way I'm not dead to a land. I'll have to trade this for the Bloodghast, which sucks, but it means we don't lose the game, which is nice. Oh, and they have Faithless Looting too. Yeah, we definitely should play this here. Ooh. Ooh, that's a thing. All right, it has... Yep. We need to just kill them, right? So, I'm gonna Thought Scour myself, retain priority here, and then remand my Thought Scour. Just like trigger prowess, get some tokens here. It's not doing a whole lot. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. All right, draw step, surgical this Bloodghast. Huh. Okay, Chad, here's a question. Am I supposed to draw step, surgical the Bloodghast, or am I supposed to take their Faithless Looting to cut down on their number of redraws towards killing us? What do we think? I think it might actually be right to just take their Faithless Lootings here. Yeah, I'm in their draw step, Zach. So am I supposed to tag the Faithless Lootings or the Bloodghast? Because, like, I have all these tokens to, like, keep the Bloodghast in check, right? Yeah, I think what the tokens are supposed to take... Because, like, we're just dead to bolts and... We're dead to bolts and Collective Brutalities. Yeah. Oh, the Phoenix is terrifying, too. Yeah, we're definitely going to take the looting. Definitely going to take the looting. Alright, we have a Goblin Lore. It's the only Faithless Looting. Oh, lordy. There are 4 bolts and 4 birds in their deck, chat. If they discard a bird or hit a bolt here, we're dead. So, they have Goblin Lore. Godspeed. Alright, as you will, opponent. If they brick here, I think we need like 2 bricks out of them. I guess we need to draw something, potentially. They did not hit a bird, so that's good for us. They have a lot of live draws, that is correct. They discarded 2 lands, though, and another Bloodghast, so pretty good chance we're dead here. They just saw a lot of cards and didn't lose any cards that are lethal. We're giving it the college best here. I feel like maybe I should have boarded in my Collective Brutality just to have a way to buffer our health total in this aggressive matchup, so maybe not boarding those in was incorrect. Please attack me. Good lord, this attack... There's no way this is right. And I'm going to double block here, because any removal they have to blow out a double block just kills us. This is game 2 of match 1 with this deck, and we are currently down a game. Hollowed one. Okay. Okay, that attack makes more sense then. I guess I'm just passing at this point, right? I guess we're just passing here. So, what I mean by double blocking is that, so what people don't understand, everyone's like, oh, you have to double block Hogland. What I was referring to is, if my opponent's removal spells weren't lethal, we'd be incentivized to triple block their chat. And the reason why you're incentivized to triple block is because you don't want your opponent to kill one of your things and then keep their Flameblade Adept. So the decision wasn't single block or double block. The decision was double block to trade or triple block to trade plus play around a removal spell. And we choose not to play around a removal spell by triple blocking because all of their removal spells just kill us. So that's why I said I didn't articulate that, so I guess people just took we're gonna double block to mean do we single block or double block. What I meant was we're going to double block, or I thought it was implied that we had to double block because it had menace. So apologies for assuming that we'd know like Alright, I think we're supposed to just trip block the hollowed one here. I could single block here and just like try and tread water. I think I triple... Is triple block the play to win line, or is it the play to lose slowly line? I think it's the play to lose slowly line. We kind of just want to like hit a terminate, right? Yeah, I think we're just supposed to chump here and try and turn the corner. If we hit a bolt, we could lethal them, right? Yeah, bolt is lethal. So yeah, I'm going to chump block. They must have something here, right? I guess they could just have... Well, even a land they would have played, right? Like a spell. I just attack with these two now, right? Please let us steal this. Please let us steal this. Please let us steal this. They have 2 blood gas in their bin. I think we're dead. We're dead if they hit, like, we're dead if they hit lands. We need them to hit, like, hollowed ones and not cycle it into lethal here. Yeah, alright. We did that regardless. I guess we could have held the bolt, but that seems pretty unlikely to win. Yeah, we just, like, had running lands on top, so we just definitely weren't going to get there. Yeah, well. At any rate, welcome to everyone that's hanging out here tonight. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream Magic full-time here on this channel. If you're enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix and you. Anaronix likes to remind you to hit that follow button for more great streams like this one. It lets you know when I go live and with what. I stream Magic anywhere between 30 and 40 hours a week on this channel. Lots of modern, some legacy, some pauper. Why wasn't I at SCG this weekend? I must have put my wallet upstairs. I was gonna pull out a bunch of cash and, like, throw it in front of the camera because I like money. And it's much, believe it or not, even with the amount of money Twitch pays, it pays far more than traveling to Magic events. And, like, I had fun traveling to Magic events for a lot of years, but, like, it's definitely a do it for the love of the game, break even hobby, even when you're doing well. Even when you're doing well at Magic, it doesn't pay that much. And this, streaming here on Twitch, allows me to play a bunch of Magic that I enjoy, plus still make an okay amount of money. We're not getting wealthy here in Hoaglandia, but it's definitely better than the break even that we did on the SCG tour for years. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bottom a 3rd Pyromancer, top a Terminate here. I can't imagine. It's like whenever I see people post miserable, hostile things towards people that are streaming or other people in Twitch chat, I always, like, picture them. They're like that fat kid in the corner at the school that was, like, really mean to everyone else growing up, and they're just, like, upset because their home life is miserable. So, like, I often feel bad for people when they're really rude in Twitch chat. It's like, man, your life must be really sad if, like, what you need to do to make yourself feel better is come shit on people you've never met. Oh, I did not vet this mana base well enough. There's not a basic mountain in our deck. That's unfortunate. I had just assumed there was a basic mountain when I was looking at my opening lands here, and if I would have known there wasn't, I probably would have let on a shock land so we could terminate on 2 potentially. So I think maybe I need to chump this even this turn. That doesn't sound like a winning play, though. Yeah, we're just super dead. Not beating Edge Champion. Longtime fan from your articles in your playstyle. I didn't catch any reason why you've been playing. Money. Traveling to play Magic is very expensive. It's very expensive. For some context for people that aren't familiar with how much it costs to travel to play Magic the Gathering, an average weekend where I was splitting costs of a hotel room and gas with other Magic players usually cost somewhere between $150 and $200 if I was driving to play in a tournament. And if you're flying to play in a tournament, plane tickets most places usually range somewhere between $300 and $600 round trip, plus the entry fee for the tournament, plus your hotel costs. So like you're looking at like anywhere between usually $800 and $1,000 to fly to a tournament, and like look at those numbers and compare it to what the prize money is at the top of that tournament. So like if you're spending $1,000 to get to a tournament, you have to, I think it's make top 4 to break even at this point for an open. I don't really like to count food costs because like I'm probably buying food for myself at home. It's gonna be like marginally more expensive because you're eating out for all of your meals, but it's not that much different. It's not. So here's the thing. I actually fly out of Chicago quite often. Magic tournaments are not destination events. Many of the time, Magic tournaments are held in cities where convention centers are cheaper, which means the cities they're held in, look at the price to fly from Chicago or New York to Cincinnati, Ohio, or Columbus, Ohio. Like those places are very expensive to fly to regardless of where you're flying from. This hand is also miserable. My basic island Terminate deck. This hand's actually very good. It's actually super reasonable. I'm gonna bottom that. We're just looking for more spells to flip this thing in the ice faster, ideally. That being said, playing Magic is a lot of fun, so I do intend to travel to a few events again this year. To say I was burnt out is probably a little bit of an understatement. I played 30 plus Magic the Gathering weekends every year between 2014 and 2017. So 2014, 2015, 2016, I was traveling for Magic more than half the weekends in the year. So taking most of 2017 off was nice. And this year I don't intend to play as many tournaments as I played in those previous years, but I do intend to hit a couple. I'm going to be at the Open in Cincinnati. I think I'm planning to go to the Open in Milwaukee 2 weeks after that. Oh, I'm just not arguing with you. Believe it or not, prices fluctuate based on the weekends. So yes, sometimes flights are very cheap and sometimes they're very expensive. Sometimes they're very cheap and sometimes they're very expensive. I get it. You want to jerk off vigorously and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm telling you from personal experience, having done this for many, many years and looked at many, many flights of prices and set watches on lots of flights of prices. That's champion. That one's going to be a tough nut to crack. Cincinnati's in 2 weekends, right? It's the 24th. I've flown round trip to Baltimore for $98. Yes. I've flown round trip to Atlanta for $190 before. Yes. Sometimes prices are very, very cheap. Sometimes you can get great deals on flights to places. That's not the norm. That's not how it always works. I'm just gonna shoot this and shoot this welding jar, just like force them to crack it basically. And like hopefully we can flip this and then attack them. Someone trying to start streaming on Twitch. So my best piece of advice for someone that wants to stream on Twitch is, and I have 2 or 3 points. I'm not going to cost a number. So there are a few different things you should do. The first is that you need to make sure you're streaming on Twitch because it's something that you're going to enjoy doing. You should not expect to make money streaming on Twitch for a very long time. It takes a while to build an audience. The second thing is if you're going to get involved in streaming on Twitch, you want to make a consistent schedule. You want people to be able to find you regularly and incorporate you into their lives when it's convenient for them. Those are my 2 pieces of advice. So make sure you're doing it because you love it and then do it consistently on a schedule. Yeah, OBS is great. OBS is like the default de facto. This is the best piece of streaming software. Probably just gonna die to this Edge champion. This isn't bad. We're putting up a fight. We did mulligan to 5 this game. Our deck also just has like 0 outs to this card. Deck is 0 outs to Edge champion as a magic card. What do you think we stand to gain by sticking Pyromancers into an instant reanimator deck? Like what problem does the instant reanimator deck have that adding Grixis Pyromancer solves? I could see maybe boarding into Pyromancers in the Grixis deck to sidestep Graveyard Hate. Like maybe you cut the Goryo's Vengeance and you become a Pyromancer through the Breach deck. That sounds kind of neat. But I don't think Pyromancer is the type of card I would want to main deck in a instant speed reanimator shell. Remember, when you're making changes to a deck list, the question you always want to be asking yourself is, how can I solve problems that this deck has? Like what issue does this deck have that this change I'm looking to make fixes? Would have been better if I forced the Memnite and the Vault Scourge. I mean, the Vault Scourge and the Memnite didn't really, like, if the Memnite died, or both of those died, it didn't really matter, right? Like, I wanted to take the Welding Jar off the table so I could potentially kill a Cranial Plating if I drew a Kolaghan's Command. Like, I didn't really, I cared about getting the Welding Jar off the table more than I cared about taking Memnite and Vault Scourge off the table. Well, hopefully our opponent's hand isn't 6 lightning bolts and a land. His hand's okay reasonable if we're not about to Thoughtseize into 6 lightning bolts and a land. Ding. All right, so this hand's probably okay against Strahd. The bot response is A+. I did not write that. That was one of the mods that wrote that. I agree that it was largely irrelevant. I think making their payoffs less powerful by taking those cards off the table means that, like, we're not winning if their payoff stays on the table with a Welding Jar, so we should sequence ourselves to put ourselves in the best possible spot to win. Taking the most artifacts off the table gives you a better chance to beat a payoff card, or makes their payoff card worse, but we're not beating a payoff card even if it's worse. I think I want to just take Ancient Stirrings here because I think my opponent is likely to crack this map next turn as opposed to playing this one. So that is going to give us a window to Thoughtseize this one as well, hopefully. That's unfortunate for us. This is smart on their part. It lets them play around removal or more discard. So I think I want to just get this Jace going. This Jace lets us get more Thoughtseizes resolved sooner, especially with this Thought Scour. So, like, I'm going to get to, like, Thought Scour myself, flip my Jace, and then, like, Thoughtseize the following turn, potentially. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and Thought Scour myself here. I actually can double Thoughtseize starting this turn, right? Because I can do this. And then I can flip this Jace and we hit a Black Source, so I can... Ooh, Remand's pretty good here, too. That's a lot of Oblivion Stones, opponent. That's a lot. It's a lot of Oblivion Stones. All right, I guess we're trying to play through Oblivion Stone. That is... Yep. All right. Are we digging for Kolaghan's Command? I feel like I'm digging for Kolaghan's Command here. Discard Terminate for probably not beating any of their spells anyways. You know what the opponent's favorite test game is? Lol. Yeah, Teamer decks are fine. Jace has been really bad in the main deck of the Teamer decks that I've played, so no Jace in the main deck is more than acceptable. Okay, so the Inquisition on top of our deck there means that we're going to get to go Inquisition plus Thoughtseize and take both these O-Stones away from them. So that means we're only going to need to play through one O-Stone here potentially, which is nice. So I assume they're going to correct. They just hit it naturally. Tilt. Well, we know all of their cards now at least. They're not going to blow it up to kill this because they'll lose their map, I assume. Maybe they're willing to lose their map to not lose another O-Stone out of their hand, though. It could go either way. I can see that going either way. Like, is their map worth sacrificing to not lose an O-Stone out of their hand to a flashback Thoughtseize? So the very first thing I'm going to do here is target this so my opponent can't have takesy backsies here. I think I'm going to... Nah, I'm not going to play the Pyromancer this turn. Let's just take their cards away. Just go. We know they have 2 O-Stones. Let's just take both their cards here. I'm going to pass holding Remand up, I think. And then if my opponent doesn't want to trade their Oblivion Stone 1-for-1 for my Jace, I get to flashback a cantrip next turn. How good is Godo plus Batterskull and Ponza? Well, Ponza's problem isn't playing more clunky, awkward cards. Ponza's problem is that it dies to random fast draws out of things. Alright, they got a cantrip land. Sweet. It's good tech. So they have a random, so they're going to have 2 random cards here. Oh, geez, did they draw an Ulamog? I guess I'm just Thoughtseizing them again here, huh? I'm going to put this into play now. Try and force the O-Stone crack. Interesting. Okay. I felt like they maybe should have cracked this, but I guess they want to wait so they have the most mana available to them after they crack the Horizon Canopy. I guess that makes sense. In case they draw like an 8-drop, they don't give me a chance to Thoughtseize it. Am I down to 5? How are we at 5? I guess I've cast 4 Thoughtseizes this game, huh? We are certainly at 5. Certainly at 5. Opponent has like 800 draws that we can't beat. Yeah, the 4-color Pyromancer list that Decandio played is loosely based off of a deck list that top 8 at a Classic very recently. This is fine. This is fine. We're going to do stuff and things. If they go down, we get to trade this with a Lightning Bolt. This is smart on their part, not going down. So I could bolt this and put it to 7, and then we can Pyromancer Fame, hit their card to 3. I'm going to hold the bolt for now. Let's see what we draw. I'm going to hold this land in my hand just in case my opponent, that's what I'm searching for. My opponent wants to uptick Karn again. Can protect my Lightning Bolt. We know their last card is Basic Forest, so they have a brick in hand, so Karn's their only resource right now. Yeah, I agree. The opponents made a lot of great decisions. They definitely had a few points where they could have given themselves less percentage points, and they have not. They've not hit them. They've not taken those opportunities. Yep, sweet. Okay, so this Lightning Bolt's going to get to finish this Karn off, which is great for us. So, just need a bunch of bricks out of him. All right, that's a brick. So, this is the thing people don't... And I hate... Magic players, they do this thing where, like... They print a good hate card, like that card that everyone's talking about, right? Like the Sphere. And people are like, Storm can beat this Sphere. It's not a big problem. But what people mean by this card is good against Storm, they're not saying you play this card and Storm concedes. That's not what's implied by saying that this card is good against Storm. What's implied by saying this card is good against Storm is that Dampening Sphere is a piece in a winning puzzle towards allowing you to beat Storm. I don't think any reasonable player assumes that you're going to cast Dampening Sphere on 2 and your Storm opponent's going to concede the game. Reasonable players do assume, though, that when you mix Dampening Sphere in along with potential pressure, that is going to beat your Storm opponents. All right, Tron doing Tron things, and like this is pretty likely, right? Like their deck is a bunch of cantrips, so like them hitting gas off the top is unsurprising. Not gonna shock for this. How much does this cost me right now? It's 1, 2. It is only 2, right? Sphere against Tron is very good. Again, it's like Blood Moon. Sphere is not a one-card Tron concedes the game. Sphere, however, is a piece in a winning puzzle towards potentially letting you beat Tron with a fair interactive deck. So we're going to use this Fatal Push as a deal 6 damage to our opponent here. Our opponent's going to attack with this Wormcoil Engine. We're going to block with our Elemental, and then we're going to concede to this Ulamog. Sorry, is that what I meant? I meant we're going to concede to the Ulamog. That's what I meant. I meant that our decisions didn't matter, we're going to concede to the Ulamog. Sorry. If anyone misunderstood what I had going on there. Can I put this towards the blue-black Eldrazi deck in the queue? Yes, you can, Jace. Thank you for the bits. I do appreciate that. I assume you mean the Eldrazi Emerge deck? Yeah, exactly. People want a one-card target Storm player concedes the game, and they're just that's not going to happen. That's not a thing you should expect to come down the pipeline. All right, so I want to cut those. I definitely want these 6 cards. I don't know if that's necessarily true, Justin, because it's very bad at get with your Snapcaster Mages. What happened to concede to Tron? We don't always concede. We concede to Tron when our matchup against Tron is completely unwinnable. I think this deck has plenty of aggressive draws that like are generating of playing like real interactive games of Magic against a Tron deck. Yeah, pushes definitely come out. Maybe I want a Thing in the Ice in. I'll board in one of these. See how that goes. I'm not a huge fan of Terminate. The rest of these are fine. We concede to Tron a lot on this stream because we play a lot of mid-range decks. This deck has counter magic and it has land destruction, and like we were pretty in that game if our opponent missed for a turn or two. So we only concede games that we're very unlikely to win. We play it out plenty. This hand could be literally anything. I'm gonna top that and hope to draw some lands off these cantrips. Well, Weddingin, you are currently subscribed to the channel because you have the icon next to your name, so thank you for that. Sometimes you have to refresh your browser page in order for the notification message to pop up for you. That's pretty good. I'm probably going to Thought Scour my opponent next turn just so I can draw the land that I know is on top of my deck. So we get to draw the Spirebluff Canal here, and then we know there's a fetch land on top of our deck, so we're going to Thought Scour them so we guarantee draw our 3rd land. Sphere coupled with As Foretold. That's interesting. I like that idea. As Foretold's a card that's really impressed me the times I've played with it. And now I'm going to Thought Scour myself because our graveyard having cards in it does matter. I just wanted to make sure I drew this this Polluted Delta that I knew was on top of my deck from the Thought Scour. I think I'm going to kill their mine here. Just because we already milled one of those, so they're less likely to find more of them. They have this to go find whichever Tron piece they want, obviously, but I assume this is going to get a replacement mine for them since they're already down one over here. Yeah, that's true too. The fact that the Sphere is a card that makes Tron's Eggs and Ancient Stirrings much worse is also very, very relevant. No, Dampening Sphere, it's a card that was in the Dominaria spoiler that was leaked. We do have one Surgical Extraction, and I did board it in. I think Surgical is fine to pair with cards like Molten Rain in a matchup like this. All right. All right, so Ensai here for the Karn and the sweet memes. Thanks for re-upping the Twitch Prime there. I appreciate that. Ensai was our first victim of Use Your Words this evening. So the idea that a card like Dampening Sphere is going to need to get banned in Modern is really obnoxious and silly to me. So if you want to suggest something that seems both obnoxious and silly, I need you to articulate yourself. Dampening Sphere as a card that I can see getting banned because, and then fill in the because afterwards. Like if you're not articulating yourself, you're just like screaming words into a void. And like there's plenty of monkeys that want to bang on the keyboard and scream into the void here, and we just don't need more of those. Well, I think they would have searched up whichever piece that we were shattering there, I think. Do I want to bolt them here for +1 point of damage? I don't think so. I think I'd rather hold up Kolaghan's command in case they Karn. Justin with the $20 donation. As for Trolled Sphere in a control shell when it comes out, sounds good. Sounds good. Does anyone know when the Dominaria release date is on Magic Online? I don't actually know what it is in paper either. Johnny K with some bits. Thank you for filling the cup up, bud. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out here tonight. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Having a great start to your week. Hanging out, playing some Modern. This Grixis deck is not going so well. We are currently 0-2 and we are down a game in this match. Karn is here and he is liberated. I assume this is going upstairs. Exiling my Pyromancer. Alright, I'm just gonna send a bolt upstairs in response and kill the Karn. Get a token. Hey, Full Metal Adept with some bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Dr. Peasy is gone. I actually don't have any creatures in my bin for this Kolaghan's command, which kind of sucks. What do you do against Frangren, Marauder? You weep silently. You weep silently. This Grixis deck needs Deathrite, Wasteland, Dazed Force. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Hey, exclusive cards with the brand new Tier 1 subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome. I appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. I need to figure out something special we want to do when we hit 1,000 subs. We're heading in that direction, so we might get there before long. Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm just burning this Kolaghan's command here, right? If we draw like a Bedlam Reveler, I want it to be able to maximize, and I want to take this Karn off the table. I'm not sure I want to play against Grixis Shadow with access to Daze. That sounds really obnoxious. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to send both of these at Karn just in case they have another Dismember. No, I didn't. They were exiling a Swiftspear, not a Pyromancer. Jedi Jeff, I know they're both red and they look kind of similar, but that was a Swiftspear. If it was a Pyromancer, I would have done it in response, yeah. Play Summoner's Egg for 12 hours. No, Maddie, because I wanted to get the elemental token off of it. I wanted to get the elemental token off of it. Well, it's kind of a wash, right? Because, like, we're getting a token versus dealing a prowess trigger. Yeah, that's the same. Alright, so... this felt like a bad Mardu deck, if we're being completely honest. Did we really not win a game? Did we 0-3, 0-6? Need to load back up here. Holy Lord, we did 0306. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, this was a bad Mardu deck. It's just like this card is so much worse when it's not paired with Faithless Looting. We've tried a few different Bedlam Reveler decks on stream now, and every time this card ends up in our deck without Faithless Looting, it feels super anemic and awkward. That being said, another flip side of that is when you're playing Faithless Looting in these decks, if you're playing Faithless Looting without playing Lingering Souls, that also feels awkward. So like, if I need Faithless Looting to enable Bedlam Reveler, and I need Lingering Souls to enable Faithless Looting, at that point it's like, well, now we're just playing Mardu, and like, is it worth shoving this core of blue cards into the Mardu Pyromancer deck? And the answer is probably no. Probably no. But like, again, like, what issue are you solving in Mardu Pyromancer by shoving Thing in the Ices and Ancestral Visions into it? Yeah, it's a cohesive puzzle. Like, your cards kind of beget you to play other specific cards. Like, my Pyromancer, have a ban, get out of here. Oh, Ponza won a major tournament. That means it's fantastic. Do you know what decks top 8'd lots of major tournaments? This is my favorite part about having played Kiki Cord for years. I've top 8'd lots of major tournaments with Kiki Cord. I won like a 200, 300 player classic with Kiki Cord. Was that deck ever good? No, it was not. That's why people fucking love Modern, chat. Because you can take a deck that's terrible and win a tournament with it. That's why this format is great. Because your deck doesn't have to be stellar to top 8 or win a tournament with it. I liked playing Kiki Cord, so I played a bunch of Kiki Cords. You know what? You ever talk to a Ponza player? Ponza players, they fucking love casting Stone Rain. So they don't care if their deck is great. They're just showing up to Stone Rain some people. And sometimes you show up looking to Stone Rain people and have a good time, and you hit a bunch of good matchups, and you run good in the bad matchups, and you win a tournament. And that's great. That's why Modern's awesome. But don't come in here with your nonsense and be like, Hogland was wrong. Ponza won a tournament. It's amazing. No, that's not how Magic works. Variance goes both ways. Bad decks in the hands of good players do well in tournaments constantly. All right. Let's play